Hey guys, welcome back to another Oss Figure Reviews. This week we're going to be doing Final Fantasy XIII-2 Play Arts Lightning from Square Enix. This is my first Play Arts figure. I've never owned one before. Gotta say overall, just before I get started, I am pretty satisfied with it. I had it pre-ordered. I waited a long time to get it. I've never ordered something directly from Square Enix before, but I'll say this, if you guys haven't done it, they are slow as shit. I waited 3 weeks in shipping, just by itself. It took about 3 weeks for it to get here. Going from when it said that it had, or was ready to ship, to about the point it hit my door. So, not very quick. I mean, they're okay. But if you can get it from a third party, or you can get it from Amazon or something like that, as long as you know it's not going to be sold out, I'd recommend going that route, because I was a little bit pissed. Anyways, just going to do a quick run over the packaging here. This is the box that it comes with, or comes in. Pretty nice. I do like it. It's very bright pink, so if you're uncomfortable with that, whatever, then you probably shouldn't be collecting toys in the first place. Inside here, pretty nice deal. Opens up, it's got a nice little hinge door on it, little Velcro straps that do hold it in place. This is the actual portion where the figure resides. You've got some printed feathers on here, looks pretty neat. Extra hands in the packaging, I'm not going to take those out, they're pretty self-explanatory. It's a lot like a little Revoltech hands. They have ball joints on them, ratcheting ball joints, so they're pretty much exactly the same. So package itself is very nice. Oop. And there she goes. Okay, so we'll get to the figure itself since she's going to be having some difficulty standing now, so how we got her posed right now. Figure itself, very detailed, looks very good. Looks pretty much identical to the game. If you played XIII-2, you know what Lightning looks like. This is pretty much her spot on. I couldn't imagine there being much of a better figure. Maybe a little bit larger would be nice, but this is still pretty satisfying. I did spend about $60 on it, all said and done, including shipping. So it's not a cheap figure by any means, but I'd still say it's pretty good. It shouldn't be that much. It shouldn't be $50 by itself, but hey, what are you gonna do? So yeah, so this is the figure itself. Looks exactly like it does in the game. You can kind of see here she's got her armor on from XIII-2. She's got her little, I don't know what you call this, feathered skirt. Pretty much all the details down to the smallest thing. Pauldrons move independently. Articulation on this is pretty good. She can't stand all that well, like her balance is a little bit off, and I think it has a lot to do with this deal right here. But yeah, I mean, you pose her just right, you can get her to stand. It's just a little bit difficult at first. So, articulation on her, yeah, like I said, the pauldrons, the head's really good. At first when I got it, it was a little bit sticky, and I was thinking, oh crap, she's not going to be able to do much with her head, but I popped it up, and it's nice now. I mean, you can bend it down pretty good. She can't do much in the upward range of motion, but that's because of the hair in the back here hitting the back of her armor. That's as far as that'll go. Left and right's pretty good, no problems there. The pauldrons kind of get in the way, but you can always just kind of push them up and then bring them back down, and it looks pretty good. The arms and everything here, now, I don't know if other play arts are similar to this. I've never owned one before, like I said, but this is pretty neat. Like it looks weird, but I see why they do it. So for the arm joint, you have like this separate piece right here where the shoulder comes out. So the shoulder blade kind of can come out, and it looks natural from behind, because you've got that skin there instead of just a big gap or an arm that can't articulate fully. So, pretty cool. Still, like I said, it looks kind of goofy from the sides, but it is what it is. It looks good for completionist's sake. It's not a big gaping hole, so I'm happy with it. Armor looks good. There's a nice wash on all her armor, so it looks real satisfying. It's painted very good. Hands, like I said, she has like a Revoltech style ball joint hands. They do ratchet. They turn, which is nice. I feel like they're a little bit more fragile than a Revoltech. I feel like I'm going to break it. I'm being very careful with it so far. It just seems a little bit plasticky, I guess would be the term. It just seems brittle. No breaks yet, but I don't want to push that, because I don't know how in the world you get replacements for this one. So same thing on the arm there. A little bit of waist articulation, so she can move a little bit, but that's it. A little bit forward, a little bit backwards. That's about all you're going to be doing with it. She does not, there's no turning, no pivoting of the waist. The little hip things here, they don't move, but they are rubbery, so if you had to move the leg up, it shouldn't really impact it all that much. Same thing here, so that's about it as far as like the waist area goes. So the legs are on some pretty decent little ball joints. The paint apps on this are really good. I've seen some reviews online where they were saying they had overpaints and they had like little paint splotches like on the back of the legs here from the silver paint. I don't have that. I don't have that problem. And forgive me for opening this up, but there's no paint anywhere on there. It's all pretty good. So maybe it's just a QC issue from what looked like a... They had that before release, official release. So I'm assuming maybe they got a preview figure and maybe the paint, the QC just wasn't as good. I don't know. So yeah, like I said, paint app's really good. The legs are pretty decent. So you've got range of motion here. That's about as far out as you can go. And then for forwards and backwards motion, you can bring it up pretty far. Almost 90 degrees. Almost. I'm coming around on the back here again. Again, almost 90 degrees. Pretty good. She's got some ridiculously long legs, I feel like, but they do look pretty good, so it works for the figure. The knees, got your regular old joint here, not a ball joint. It looks like it's double jointed there, because I can see another plastic joint through there. And it is. I'm just really hesitant to mess around with it too much, because there's not much wiggle room in there. You can see you've only got just a little bit where you can move it, so you can get them pretty straight. The feet, on the other hand, these are, I think, where a lot of the posing problem comes into it. They're on ball joints. They don't have rockers, at least not that I can tell. Again, I feel like this figure is a little bit more fragile than most of the Rebel Techs and Figmas that I have, so I'm kind of hesitant to push too hard, but it doesn't have, I'm pretty sure it has no rocker. You can do forward, you can do backwards. It goes up a little bit. The armor is really the hindrance here again. So that's about as far as you can get the foot up, and that's about as far as you can get it back, because this little heel point doesn't let you go any farther. But in a standard standing pose here, I have difficulty getting her to balance. If I take a few minutes, yes, I can get her to stand up straight. I mean, it'll stay. I'm not touching it. So it is possible, but I've set her up on my shelf, and I've come in there numerous times, and she's been face planted, which is not good for a $60 figure that I don't want to break. So yeah, the little hip guard here, like I assume they're chocobo feathers. Ride with me. If they're not, let me know. But so yeah, it is split, so you can bring the leg up through there if you need to. I mean, it doesn't entirely get in the way, which is cool. It's nice. If that was one big piece, I could see that being a major pain in the ass, but they kind of split that up for you, so it's not as bad. Again, I think that has a lot to do with the weight issues and like the balancing issues, is that big skirt. But it's part of her look. It looks good. They did a really good job on it. It's painted really well. It's got a good wash on it, so I'm happy with it. I do not want to see it go, so we'll keep it. We'll work with it. Now, what we'll look at here, and this is kind of one of the big points I like about this figure. You've got her gun blade, and it's really nice. Really, really detailed. Looks just like it does in the game. Only thing about this that's not so great, it doesn't form into gun mode. So I know that like this is going to be somewhat of a baby spoiler, but if you've played through the beginning introduction to 13-2, you know, it folds down, it's got an actual gun inside. It's like Squall's gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII. I'd say it's similar to that. But you can't do that with this. It doesn't move. So, small nuance. It'd be cool if it did. It'd be really neat, especially for the price you have to pay for this thing. But other than that, I mean, the paint job's really good on it. Nice detail on the blade here. Nice detail up here on the guard. Very satisfied. This is probably, you know, besides the figure itself, this accessory is awesome. Now the shield, pretty simple, basic, not much to it. I mean, it's just a big plastic disc that's painted. I don't know the relevance to the symbols that are on here. I assume it's just the goddess's symbol, for those of you that have played the game. It does pin on here with a little plastic piece. This is a pain to get on. again, with the joint, way the joints are, I'm very delicate with it, so I'm very careful, but I'm very afraid that I'll break her arm off or something when I put this on her, because I really got to push it on. Other than that, very nice. I mean, it pivots on this ball joint here, which is great for posing. So I mean, you don't have to worry about this being too much of a hindrance. You can turn that, you can rotate it, you can pivot it, however you want it to be on the figure, and it'll look really good. So all in all, if you're a fan of XIII-2, this is probably the best looking figure you'll find. I've seen the older play arts for 13. Not a huge fan of that game. I played it just because I'm a fan of Final Fantasy, but XIII-2 leagues beyond. So if you're on the fence about that one, I really recommend you pick it up. I know this isn't a video game review, but hey, it's about the game itself. So yeah, if you're interested at all, if you can get her cheaply, if you don't have to order it from Square Enix, I'd say go for it, because you'll be waiting a long time for their shipping. But I'd say it's worth it. I'm really satisfied with it. I'm happy. I give it 2 thumbs up. Maybe they'll put a better figure out later on. I mean, I feel like Play Arts figures, from the pricing I've seen, and a good buddy of mine has quite a few, it seems like their prices keep going up and perhaps the figures get a little bit smaller. So unfortunately, that seems to be the way a lot of things are going right now, but we're gonna hold out hope that they won't keep shrinking them and making the prices go up. So alright guys, this is Oz signing out. I'll put another video review up as soon as I possibly can. Been really busy lately, but I'll make sure I get some good ones up. And subscribe, leave some comments, let me know what you think. I'm looking for some feedback. Let me know what I can do to make these better, and I'll make these more enjoyable. Alright guys, take it easy.